Happy to see all of you. Okay, awesome. So I'm glad to see all of you. And so the conversation today will be a little bit. I want it to be very educating. So, Mr. Sent,
yes,
are you
sir.
there?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
So what we are going to do for the first minute of this conversation is that you will start by asking me some fundamental question that is in your mind about what this class is all about, and let me take it from that aspect. So I'll be able to share what's relevant to everybody, and so that everybody can learn, and everybody is mute. So it's except you. So you are asking me questions as it related to your mind, as it related to what you want to know. So from there, I'll be able to cover a lot of ground, and people can practicality of section. So that is how I've decided to go about today's section. So I want it to be as useful, as applicable as possible. So I don't just want to share you philosophies or principles. I also want to engage it with practice. So for that to happen, it must be something that is engaging, something that you can use, something that you can learn from. So that's how I'm going to do it. So let's start.
My leg. Leave it.
Let everyone else go on. They should be muted. People should be muted, please. And then, except when it's time for you to ask questions, then we can ask you to unmute, and then you can then ask questions so that we don't distract ourselves. So, Mr. Sent.
Good evening, sir.
The floor is yours now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time tonight, because I know time means a lot to you. So for you to take out time to join us tonight, we have to say thank you for that rare privilege. So on behalf of everybody, I want to say thank you for joining us again tonight. The class is being recorded, just so you know, because I know you like to work like God. You work once and get paid many times. So I want this class to be recorded so that we can play it over and over again for other sessions. I mean, people who are not here tonight are going to miss out a lot. So, sir, real estate, you are always talking about real estate as a way to fund our lifestyle and to create a legacy. You know, yeah. I've always listened to you from afar, and each time you post on Facebook or you share in your sessions or personal meetings or personal events, you know, I digest these things further. So everybody here tonight, they are here because they want to learn how they can use real estate to fund their lives. So the first question I'd like to ask you is this: how can somebody use real estate to basically fund their lives? And then maybe later we'll talk about leaving the legacy. Because we know we have daily needs and all of that. How do we use real estate to fund our lives?
Okay, so thank you very much for that. And I think it's a very profound question you have just asked. Now, the truth of the matter is everyone uses real estate. Everyone, either you like it or not, as long as you are human, you are going to engage in real estate one way or the other, either as a owner or as a user. All right. Yes. So you are going to engage in real estate. So most time people don't really understand how to use real estate to fund their lifestyle because they don't know the essence of real estate. Now, real estate is not just something you use for where you live. It is fundamentally also what you use to fund your living. So for me, I have seen it as the learning tools that technology destroys. So because technology cannot destroy, how can I then use it to fund my life? Let me start by giving you an example. Today is always my custom. Once in a while, I will leave my office almost either in the afternoon. I will just take a walk around. So today I got to a place where I saw this man selling maize, roasted maize, and I decided to pick one or two and just eat it. All right. And lo and behold, there's a guy there. This guy should be either in his late 40s or in his early 50s. All right. And this guy, I saw him, he was peeling the corn on behalf of the guy that is selling the corn. And I saw the liveliness in him and all of that. And at the end of the day, the guy was about leaving the place. And I suddenly realized that he's the one that helped the guy to pick the corn from a place called My 12 in Lagos to down to Maryland.
I want to sit here.
You know, sorry, can
Mama,
just
excuse me a bit. 1 minute.
can you mute the person? Mute. All right. So the whole process then, when the guy was about to leave my presence, I look at him and I move with compassion towards him. I call him to come and I gave him a tip. And the guy was so surprised. I was giving him a tip unknown to him because of something that was going on in my head. What was that? And that was what I'm about to tell you. Like, what was going on in my head is simple, and this is it. Strength is overrated. And you cannot be rich by strength, all right? You cannot be rich by selling your strength. You cannot be rich by, by giving your strength out to the world. But you can be rich if you know how to use your strength within a sacrificial period of time and leverage it on a system. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that to mean this. The same thing with real estate. There are two sides to real estate. Real estate can give you leverage, and real estate can give you cash flow. Now, when I talk about real estate, a lot of people don't know how to use it to build leverage, nor cash flow. But the moment you know how to use real estate to build leverage or cash flow, you will become Lord upon the earth. You will become someone that will not just be, living on this planet, but you will reap the fruit of this planet. But a lot of people don't know how to do this. A lot of people don't know how to engage this. A lot of people don't know how to make this happen for themselves. And as a result of that, they just see real estate as a piece of dust, something that I buy when I need it, something that I buy when I've made it, so that I can build my house. But the point remains that you have to understand that real estate is God's social justice system that can use you to cure all your flaws on the earth. Real estate can cure the flaws, your financial flaws, if you know how to engage it. But a lot of people don't know how to engage real estate, so that's why they don't buy enough of it. That is why some people don't buy it at all. And that's why they don't stretch themselves to be able to do this. All right. And imagine someone, what is more important? Someone that you are paying so much to send your children to a secondary school or a very expensive primary school, and suddenly they send you out of the house and you are homeless. Do you think that is what is more important? Sending your children to school and then making your children homeless, or first having a house for your children and though you have not sent them to school? Now, that question is for you to answer yourself. But I believe that your where you live will affect your mental faculty, and your mental faculty will affect your financial prosperity. And so land plays a big role in how healthy you are and how wealthy you are. So real estate will put you in a state that would make your life real, or you make it fake. So most people never know how to have this conversation, and as a result of that, they live life without achieving so much, because they don't have this clarity I am sharing with you. So real estate is God's way of helping you to forgive you your flaws if you know how to engage it intelligently and wisely. And I believe that's why we are here today, to be able to put this thing in perspective, either helping yourself or helping other people around you. And that is what I believe real estate is all about. The moment I discover real estate, I discover it as a tool that can take me to my destination of freedom lifestyle. And I've made it a mandate until I leave this planet to show other people how to do the same, to use real estate to get to freedom, because life begins after freedom. Most people never experience life because they never get to freedom. True life begins after freedom. It is after freedom that we will say, what next? And most people never get to freedom, so therefore they don't know what next. And if you don't know what next, what then happened to you? You have just been living a life of quiet desperation. So you need to know what next, but for you to know what next, you have to get to freedom. And freedom lifestyle is the beginning of living. So I think freedom lifestyle that real estate can give to anyone, it is a privilege. It's a pledge that every living being must make to themselves. That must get to freedom early enough. I must get to freedom fast enough, and I must use an asset that cannot be fully disrupted, and I can use an asset that can be hedged against inflation. I can use an asset that global economy cannot affect, and that is what real estate is all about. And that's why I do real estate. And that's why I show people how to use real estate to create freedom. I hope you are able to pick something from what I put down.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. The key word for me is this. The key perspective that you have just given is this. There's a difference between doing real estate as a place where we want to live and doing real estate as something we do for a living. That's a key perspective change for me, because we have always seen real estate from, okay, I want to own a house so that I can have the comfort of living somewhere. But then we have not looked at it from the angle of how do I now use same real estate to fund my living. So it's not just about where I live, but how to fund my living through real estate. In fact, in the past few days, my posting about real estate has increased on social media, because I just found out that, look, for real, this is the only way to actually fund your freedom. What are you working for? What are you working for? I'll be following you, and each time you post, I digest this, and I'm like, this means so deep. So I'm so grateful for that answer. So, but sir, how can somebody get started? The issue is this. I read a statistic sometimes ago from the CBN that just 2% of Nigerians have 500K and above in their bank accounts, which means 98% of Nigerians don't have up to 500K in their accounts. They are maybe the basic issue, or the main issue, is how do I even get the funding to start? So most of us see real estate from the angle of, oh, before I get into real estate, it must cost me millions. And so a lot of people don't attempt it. So how would you advise, for somebody who is a salary earner, maybe somebody who is earning minimum wage, how can such a person ever fathom using real estate to fund their lives? How can somebody who is earning minimum wage fund their lives through real estate, from your experience, sir?
Okay, so thank you very much. That's a very wise question. So the beginning would be that you have to redefine what minimum wage is. There are two kinds of people that set minimum wage: the government and yourself. All right. So the question is, who set your minimum wage? If the government set your minimum wage, they will set what is convenient for them. If your employer set your minimum wage, it will set what is convenient for him or her. But the question is, if you set your minimum wage, you will set what is convenient for you. So I say to people, if you want to live, if you truly want to live, your minimum wage should be ₦1 million in a month. And I say that it doesn't take a spirit to make ₦1 million in Nigeria every month. And I don't think you need to have a university degree to make ₦1 million every month. And the point is, that is not a class for tonight, but most importantly, you need to understand that your minimum wage must be set by you. And what do you mean by minimum wage? It means that a wage, the minimum amount that can help you to fund a living. Hello? That's what the minimum wage is. A minimum amount that can help you to fund a living. So the question is, what you are helping now, can you help you to fund a living? So it is from that perspective, you will now realize that nobody will give you an high income, you will give it to yourself. And a lot of people will give you an excuse, and they will tell you that, I wish I could make more money. The truth of the matter is, there's nobody alive that cannot make more money. So how do you go into real estate? How do you, knowing full well that you are not making enough? Making enough is not an excuse. Making enough is a challenge. Not making enough is a challenge. That what that means is that you have to see it as a challenge to be able to overcome it. You have to see that now, what about if tonight you decided that going forward, you are going to set a minimum wage for yourself that is ₦1 million. Now, if everybody in this room today can say to themselves, I've raised guys that were not a graduate in university, they're not a graduate from university, and they're able to make ₦1 million, 2 million, 5 million a month because of accepting what I'm telling you tonight. To tell yourself that going forward, my new reality and my new certainty and my new decision is that ₦1 million will become my new reality. So if you do that today, you may not know exactly how to make that. You may not know exactly how to make it right now, but that should be your understanding and that should be your acceptance. So the moment you are able to do that, then how do you move to the next level? Real estate, you can sell it. All right? You can start by selling it if you don't have all the money now. Now, you can also start by saving for it. But you see, you have to see in your life that you need freedom. All right. I'm willing to sacrifice within a short period of time so that I can enjoy for the rest of my life. So I need freedom. You see, freedom means more to me than life. I don't know about you, but I want to be free. I want to be able to play with my children. I want to be able to see them grow properly. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to live life. I want to be able to help other people. I want to be able to have this kind of class with you and not be asking you, how much are you guys going to pay me to have a section with you tonight? I don't want to live my life like that. So if I don't want to live my life like that, something must fund my life, because living needs funding. All right, living needs funding. So if needing needs funding, what's going to fund it? Real estate done properly is the way to go. So what do you need to do? You need to start by increasing your ability to make more. Increasing your ability to make more. The other time I came to Abuja and I told people you can begin to sell real estate. You can begin to learn how to sell. You can begin to learn how to sell from the compare framework, and you can help people to make money so that you can make money. And the money you are making is not to spend, is to invest. So you can begin to look at how to make more money. So selling is one of the ways that can help you. And you see, my wonderful friend Sent has an amazing book that can also help you on selling. You can pick his book, you can pick my book, Close or Lose, and begin to dive yourself into developing ability to be more persuasive. And so if what you are making is not enough, don't treat it as an excuse. See it as a challenge to make more money. So by making more money, there are 4 kinds of people in an asset space. There are 4 kinds of people in the asset space. Number 1, there are what I call NINA, N-I-N-A, NINA, N-I-N-A. What does that mean? No income, no assets. Now, there are not such people here tonight, because for you to be able to buy data and be listening to me today, you are not a NINA. You are not a no asset, no income, no asset person. But there's another kind of people, they are called LINA. That means no income, low asset. So there are kind of people here tonight, and those are the people that are saying, what about the little money that I make? No income, no asset. What do you need to do as a low income, no asset person? You need to begin to work on increasing your income, not necessarily to grow, to begin to spend, to begin to increase your income so that you begin to fill up your asset column. All right. And then there are another set of people that I call high income, no asset. I call them INA. That means they are high income people. They are making some money. They are making 300, 500,000, 1 million a month. But guess what happened? They don't have any asset to their name. They want to buy a brand new car. They want to change where they are living. They like to wear designer shirts. They like to buy expensive phone. They want to look rich rather than being rich. I call them high income, no asset kind of people. They are very dangerous kind of people, because the moment something happens in your life, everything is going to go back to ground zero. So high income, no asset. What do you need to do? You need this kind of education. You need to know how to create leverage with asset. You need to know how to create cash flow with asset. So there is a HINA, high income, no asset. And there is an HILA, that is IHILA, high income, low asset. There are people, maybe they have bought one land, they have a house they are trying to live in, or they just build a house. They are making some good money every month. They are traders, they are professionals, and all of those kind of stuff. They are high income, low asset people. Those people need to be disciplined. They need to switch selling their time for money and make their asset begin to pay for their living. So what that means is that you have to be deliberate, and those kind of people may be here tonight, or they will later listen to this conversation. They need to be deliberate. There is another set of people, I call them MILA. That means there are medium income, low asset. They have medium income. So those kind of people also need to work on their income and also begin to raise their asset. Because you see, until your asset can fund your living, you are struggling. Until your asset can fund your living, you are struggling. But when your asset begin to fund your living, you are free. And that is the state I want you to get to. And it doesn't take a long time to get there. You only take determination and the right strategy to get to that point. And there are this set of people I call HIBA. HIBA, they are high income, big asset. Then what that means is that they earn high income, they have big asset. The asset fund their lifestyle, the asset fund their dream. They are building asset, they have lands that give them leverage, they have properties that give them cash, lifestyle cash flow. They have asset that help them to leave legacy. That's what they are working on. Now, if you look at all of these people that I've mentioned, you will find yourself one way or the other in between them. And you need to know yourself. But there is a final place I want you to get to. It's called the high income, big asset people. You may not be there today listening to me, but it can be there in the next 3 to 5 years. What do you need to do? You need to be deliberate that from today. You don't invest in assets because you are rich. You invest in assets so that you can be wealthy. In other words, if you invest in assets so that you can be wealthy, it will change everything in your life. So these are the narrative of the kind of people that exist in our world today, and most people don't even know where they belong. So they're just an accident, they're just a disaster waiting to happen. They're making little money. And this is what I say to you: small money is a sin, because small money will make you not to meet your target. So if you're settling for small money, you are committing sin. And sin needs a commitment. Likewise, small money needs a commitment. The same way big money needs a commitment. So you have to let go of the idea of small money. I'm not saying you should quit what you are doing now. I'm just saying be sick and tired of small money and begin to think how to make big money legally, credibly. And you're not making big money to borrow. So you're making big money to invest in assets that can fund your vanity and that can fund some level of frivolities for you. So these are the things that most people don't do. And I've just shown you the cadre of the kind of asset and no asset life that a lot of people are living. Where do you belong? And what are you willing to do to change this whole narrative? So that is where it begins from. If you're a low-income person, don't treat that as an excuse. There are many people that don't make a lot of money, but they have invested in assets. The moment they decided to start investing in assets, they begin to look for other ways to create more streams of income without being distracted. And today, guys with tie speaking fluent English are the one paying these people even when they are sleeping. Why? Because that guy is making money now, but he has no asset that makes him money. What I want you to get to is to get to a point where you have things that makes you money rather than you going out to make money. Because if you always go out to make money, you will not have time to do anything meaningful in your life. And life must be meaningful. And if your larger part of your day is being taken by you working for money, when are you going to work for your vision? When are you going to work for your dream? When are you going to work for something that means more to you than money? But money is important. If money is important, you have to sort it on time so that do what is more important. So most people never do what is important. They never figure out what is important, which is money. As a result of that, they never do what is most important to them. So as a result of that, money that is important will help you to finance what is most important to you. So if you have not figured out what is important, you will not be able to finance what is most important. And that is why most people live life in a quiet desperation. And I don't want you to be one of them. So that is the narrative. And I hope my people are able to pick something from what I just said. And so let's go on from there.
Wow. That's massive, sir. Breaking it down, I've seen you posting on Facebook about Lina and Nina, and I knew definitely there was more from where that came. And then you've just shared a lot with us tonight concerning that. Nina, so the best place to start is to start selling assets that other people own. It's not compulsory that we must invest in real estate by buying real estate or looking for the millions to get started, which means we can get started by referring others to available assets based on your compel strategy.
I call it sell and buy.
Okay.
I call it buy. So most people, the wealthy people don't necessarily do buying and selling. The wealthy people don't do buying and selling. The wealthy people do selling and buying. All right. So you can start from the wealthy spirit by doing selling and buying. If you don't have the money to buy, why not sell so that you can buy? All right. So if you don't have the money to buy, why not sell so that you can buy? And many people never understand that. So because they cannot buy, they don't learn to buy their future. So start from selling. And so learn how to sell the real estate. Learn how to sell real estate. And the moment you can learn how to sell real estate, everything will change for you instantly.
So we just have to flip the thought pattern. Instead of
Yes, sir.
Buying and selling, we should learn selling and then buying.
Yes,
it's
sir.
It's just to flip it. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for that answer. You have shared about leaving a legacy using real estate. Can you share more light on that for us, sir?
Okay, so let me say there are 3 dimensions to real estate, and there are 3 things that asset can do for you in your life. 3 things. Number 1, asset can give you leverage. All right. Asset can give you leverage. So let me give you an instance. A friend of mine, we were talking in Radisson about a month ago, and he told me about a property that he bought, I think about 3 years ago, for 50 million. All right. They bought this asset following the compare strategy, the compare framework. And in less than 12 months, somebody came and he offered them 200 million for the property they bought for 50 million. All right. Now, what happened in that moment is that they just created what I call the leverage cash flow. What does that mean? It means that assets can give you leverage. So assets can give you, this thing, because it is the way it works. All right. It is the way it works. So practically, that is the way it works. That is the way it works. Now, practically, what that means is that the moment you can go in that route, you can create a leverage. So what do people need to do? If you learn how to use a compare framework to buy asset, you can make a bigger money in a short period of time. Now, this is the goal. Whatever you lack in ability, you should be able to cash it up in leverage. So real estate, knowing how to buy real estate in a proper way can give you leverage in life. All right. So that leverage is what a lot of people lack. So when you know how to do that, that's the first thing. Now, that is what land's supposed to give you when you are buying land. Land's supposed to land you into fortune because it's supposed to give you leverage. So when you buy land the proper way, it gives you leverage. Now, that's the first thing. Now, the second advantage of asset is what I call lifestyle cash flow. What does that mean? The reason why you invest in multifamily apartments, in houses with a proper management, is very, very simple. With a proper management is very, very simple. Now, this is it. When you own, for me, and as a company, as an individual, we own a lot of apartments that pay us money. Now, what does that apartment mean? It's continuity program. It means that we continuously make money to be able to fund our life, to be able to fund other things in our life. So you must own apartments, you must own houses as you go in your real estate asset journey that will be able to pay you. You are not depending on appreciation. You are depending on continuity. So something that comes to you all the time, like this day, our daily bread. So it means that it's funding your daily bread. The daily bread is funding you continuously. It's sufficient to fund you. Now, look at it. When you combine the leverage cash flow and the lifestyle cash flow together, it's going to give you what I call legacy. What does legacy mean? It means that with the land and the houses that you own, you will be able to leave something for the next generation if it is properly systemized. So 2-4 generation can still be funded because of you. So what that means is you can create a legacy for yourself. And so if you can create a legacy for yourself, guess what's going to happen to you? You can do that. Anybody can do that with real estate. Real estate is one of the shortest way to create legacy, but it follows 2 steps. You must have the leverage, you must have the lifestyle. Combination of that 2 will give you a legacy asset. And a lot of people never have a legacy asset. And until you have a legacy asset, you will never have a legendary life. Because a legendary life means that a life that even the generation yet unborn, they will get to know about the provision you have made for them, and then they will be able to say, oh, our grandfather, our daddy was able to do this for us and all of that. So that is how people get into legacy asset. And anyone can start with a legacy. Remember, a good man will leave an inheritance for his children. What most people do not know is that it is being said by Solomon. For those people that know Solomon, he said, he said riches and houses are inheritance from the fathers, and he said good wife is from the Lord. It means that riches and houses, which is an asset, is the legacy that parents must leave behind, not just for their children. You have the responsibility to take care of 3 generations after you. If you're going to take care of 3 generations after you, you must be able to build assets, which real estate highly represent, that can be systemized and be put in a structure that will be able to help you to get this thing going. All right. So practically that is what it is. All right. That's what legacy asset represent.
Wow. So we must first we must start with leverage. By using by leveraging our abilities, or finally using leverage instead of using strength. We must start with leverage, and then we must go into lifestyle cash flow, which is like, okay, start by start by selling land for other people, leveraging their own assets to create your own income, and then go ahead to invest in multifamily assets to generate cash flow. So by the time you have land and cash flow, which is lifestyle cash flow and leverage, you are now talking about combining both of them to form your legacy, so that you can become a legend.
You're very good. So that's what we now create legacy and then make you a legend. And so most people were wondering about what is going to be. Land alone will not make you a legend. It is land and houses that will make you a legend. That means houses are properly systemized, because it is those houses. You cannot fund your daily life with a land. Do you understand that? But it can make you a lot of money, but you cannot fund your daily life with a land. But you can fund your daily life with an apartment. That's why I wrote the book, Real Estate Cash Flow Machine. It's about how people can create a lifestyle cash flow. All right. So the point is, the reason why I wrote Compel Strategy is how people can create a leverage cash flow. All right. I'm working on 2 new books now. One is almost ready. It's called The Wealth Style Lifestyle, how to create a freedom lifestyle proper. And then I'm working on a new book called The Cash Flow for Life. That means I'm helping people to be able to collapse the time, even with their lifestyle cash flow, so that they can get to the legacy on time. So combination of these 3 levels are the things that help people to be able to get to where they are going.
Fantastic. Wow. Somebody said, if you are talking to a very wise person, sometimes you just need to keep quiet and then let the person speak. So, sir, you have spoken a lot tonight. I've gotten to the point where I really don't know what next to ask. But you're a very wise person. So, sir, what do you think we should know that have not been spoken tonight, sir?
Okay, so if you the truth of the matter is, real estate is first about real estate money, just like the class said, is first about a decision to build a life that you can be proud of. Okay, and it has to begin from yourself. Nobody can cajole you into it. Nobody can convince you into it. Nobody can deceive you into it. But now, to be candid with you, what you have to do is to accept that I can use this to build a life that I can be proud of. Perhaps your parent might not have left anything for you. Perhaps they have left something for you. Either ways, it's a challenge. If the parent have left something great for you in terms of assets, real estate, what you need to do, you need to leave something more for your own children. If your parent has not left anything for you, that means certainly you need to leave something for your own children. So where do you want to start from? You want to start from where you are. You want to tell yourself today that the reason why you have not bought an asset is not because you have the money you are earning. The reason why you have not bought an asset is because you have not made a decision to do that. And knowing how to buy the right asset will give you a leverage, a life that will take you to the next level. So what do you want to do? You want to take this advantage and start from where you are. Start from, begin to use the Compel strategy. I was in Abuja and I spoke for almost 3 hours talking about how to use Compel strategy anywhere you live in the world to be able to build an asset in real estate that will give you a leverage cash flow. The reason why I talk about leverage, compare strategy is the secret behind it. I'm exposing it to you today. Is the essence of a compare strategy is to buy land that can make you a lot of money. Let me tell you, I've made billions from land, billions, just following the compare strategy. I use the compare strategy to begin to use to buy lifestyle cash flow. And then the combination of both is giving me a legacy even in my early 40s. So what does that mean to you? It means that what I've done, you can do, and you can do much more better because of who you are and where you are. So what do you want to do today? You want to make a decision. You want to tell yourself, what exactly life do you want to live? Do you know that 95% of people that will hear what you are hearing today, by the time they are 60 years old, they will not be able to pay their bills? Why? You see, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics says 95% of people that get to 60 years old, the people are afraid to get to 60 years old. People are afraid to be old. And they find out why. He said, because most people, when they get to the age of 60, they will not be able to fund their lifestyle again. You know what? Because they have used their strength to work to that moment. And when they get to that moment, the strength has started failing them, or they have to resign from work, or whatever it is. But then they have not had something that is systemized that can fund their life. So what do you want to do? I don't want it to be a warning. I want you to be an example. So I want you to take everything that you have today. I want you to begin to talk. I want you to be, say to yourself, I want to buy real estate. I want to use a compare framework to buy real estate. I want to begin to build a leverage cash flow for myself, because this is what I say to my student that come into my inner class and that goes into inner class with sense is this. I can show you how to buy a land. And within the space of 3 years, you can sell some of the land to buy much more land and make more money. And as a result of that, you can take some of the money again to begin to build apartment or buy apartment. And I posted something on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, on Trend in the last few days. I asked a question. I say, if you have 100 unit of apartment that give you 1 million naira for life, how much is that going to be? Adjusted to inflation, that's going to be 100 million. So 100 million, how much is your yearly expenses? If your yearly expenses is 50 million, guess what happened? And if anybody lives in Nigeria and your expenses is 50 million, you are living a very, very good life. So what that means is that you have been free, and you can take the rest of 50 million and you can turn it into a bigger asset. I've seen people do this within the space of 3 to 5 years. I have a student right now that is in its 40th, I think about 40 to 50 apartments right now, and there are different ways of doing this thing. I call it accelerated cash flow system. So when people come into my network, into my process, they get to learn this thing. But this is it, because you are with Sense, you are also going to be learning all of this. But it begins with one thing: buy land today using compare strategy. Listen to me, all lands will not make you free. It's only land that is bought with a compare strategy that has power to make you free. So there are many people trying to sell land to you out there. There are many people trying to tell you, buy this land, it is cheap. The cheapest is not the best, but the land that will take you through that will be bought with a compare strategy is going to make you rich for sure. It's going to make you rich certainly. It's going to make you rich predictably, and it can make you create wealth perpetually. I can guarantee that. I have used this principle for 15 years and it has not failed me. It means that I'm not telling you what I've cooked up. I'm telling you what is in life and what anyone that has followed the process have made. So you have to start from there. The first land I bought it when I was, I'm trying to remember. Don't mind me. I'm trying to remember. The first land that I bought it at the age of 20. I think I was 24. I think I was 24 when I bought my first land. And, I don't really know so much I was doing at that time. But when I bought my second land, I think I was 26, thereabout. And when I bought my second land, the land has made me a lot of money, because at that time I've started mastering how to use a compare strategy. So what I'm telling you today is that you need to understand how to do this. So buy land with a compare strategy, make big money with it, and then compare some of the money to lifestyle cash flow, and the combination of those things over time. You don't need one house. One house does not give you leverage. It does not give you leverage. You need plenty of houses, systemized, managed. For instance, all our houses, I don't manage anyone. I don't even know my tenants, all around the city of Lagos. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. But, I get paid all the time. So what happened is, that is the plan. It's freedom style. is freedom style. So you need to put all of these things together, and that would be my thought to you. Start from where you are. Be determined. Now, 3 things I'm going to say before I want to share with you. You need to know what your freedom lifestyle number is. What does that mean? Freedom lifestyle number. It means that how much do you need every month to be able to pay your bill? Now, if you don't have to work, if something have to produce that money for you, how much would that money be? That's number 1. Number 2, you need to have a freedom lifestyle date. What does that mean? You need a date in your life when you say in August 10, 2030, I'm going to be financially free. I don't have to work again for the rest of my life to pay my bills and to pay my children's school fees. You must have a date. And then you will now have the 3rd one. I call it the freedom lifestyle blueprint. Now, what does the freedom lifestyle blueprint or playbook is? Your playbook is now the process you use to achieve this thing. That is how I've lived my life. That's what I share with my students. And then you can start by then doing what I call the freedom lifestyle test to know how far you are away from freedom. Because let me tell you, life begins after freedom. So you need to put all of these concepts together. And I can assure you, if you do these things, you will be free for sure.
Wow. That's massive. That's massive. Even though I'm recording this class, I'm also taking notes. I mean, my notes is full now, front, back, back, and everything. I'm so grateful for the time you have committed to spending with us tonight. Over the weekend, you were at Wema Bank. I know Wema Bank was they were blasted that day. Can you share some, maybe on a lighter note? Can you just share something with us from that experience? I know you've taught a lot of banks and all of that. So, but at least I remember the one of Saturday, like Wema Bank. Can you share something with us from Saturday, sir?
Okay, so the funny part of Saturday experience, like I wrote about it, I think about yesterday on Facebook or today, I don't know. I was talking about the experience really happened in my office. I was in my office naturally, just the way I speak to my people. And two of my partners were with me. And naturally, when they are talking to me, they usually record what I am saying. They know when I'm getting to the zone. So I was talking to them about assets. I was talking to them about some of the things I share with you today. And as a result of that, they were recording me. And then when they recorded what I'm saying, they posted it on some of their WhatsApp group where they belong, different of them. And people started listening to this WhatsApp, and they were like, who is this guy? Who is this guy that is sharing all this kind of stuff? And one of the directors of Wema Bank was on that one of the groups, and coincidentally, they were having a mid-year retreat on Saturday. And as a result of that, they were looking for who to bring to come and address them before they go into strategic section. They suggested 2 other persons, but he said, oh, there's this guy that I listen to. I think we should bring him. And, even though they had other people they would love to bring from the other directors, they decided to opt for me. And then I got there and then I spoke to them, even though that day was quite a busy day for me, because after that I left for Ekpe and I've been in Ekpe till Monday. I got back to mainland yesterday. And so practically I got there and I shared with them. And the testimony was simple. They said, come on, I've just made the half of the year far easier for them. And so the lessons from that is that always show up, all right? Always show up every day. You never know when your day will come, but when you don't show up, your day will never come. So the showing up daily means that surely people will find you. And people don't buy from you if you are not findable. So make yourself findable. Spread your tent, stretch your tent. Always show up every single day. The challenge with a lot of people is not that they lack talent, but they don't show up. So I got there, I finished speaking. They decided they almost wanted to keep me for the whole day. They said they want to pick me again. But you know what? I never lobbied to speak there. But life has a way of making what you have to get to more people. But your responsibility is to always show up. The question what I said is, if my people that listened to me that day do not post that thing somewhere, I would never have been invited to speak in Wema. All right. And the point is, I have been invited to speak in quite a number of places. I've been invited on TV, on radio, to a big seminar because someone listened to me, maybe watch my video on YouTube